guys, welcome to a tutorial with myself, Hayyz. Today I'm going to be looking at camera zoom and also avatar movement within a scene. So I'm going to start off with doing some camera views and zooms because some people finding it difficult to get the right zoom and sometimes over zooming and outer zooming. So what I tend to do is I tend to go ahead and use my avatar pose stand to bring out of the scene. So as you can see, I've done a scene for an ad, and the plan is I'm going to use this scene. So obviously it's only half a building, but the details of the scene. So what I want to do, I want to start off with having my camera option, my camera controls on Blackdragon. If you use Firestorm, it's obviously different. So I tend to just set it up, and I've got my stand out already. So, and I've chosen what pose I'm doing. So what I tend to do is I tend to go ahead and press Control 0 into the scene until I get majority of it in the window. So as you can see, I've got sort of an outline and sort of some of the details in the scene, the candles, the chains, and obviously the stained glass. So now what I want to go and do is I want to grab my pose stand with me, obviously on it, as you can see. I'm then going to go ahead and use the XYZ arrows on the screen to bring myself slowly out, so closer to the screen. Obviously you reach a point where camera constraint, you can't bring it all the way, but I'll show you how. So what I tend to do is I tend to bring it as far as I can in, zoom out a little bit, and then bring it back out. As you can see, a little bit of shadow there. And then what I do is I go back into zooming. While I'm here, obviously I use a pose stand that I can either alpha out the scene, so obviously you can see no pose stand behind me. And then I'm gonna gradually use my controls on my camera to basically find my angle that I want for this picture. And then I'm going to slowly use Alt and W to slowly bring it in tighter. Try and avoid any kind of gaps at the top. So when I go to snapshot, new snap, you can see that I've got a little bit of gap. So I tend to just use camera controls and zoom in a little bit more. Then to check it, I use snapshot again, so obviously you can see it's still a little bit there. So using Alt W, just a little bit more. And there we go. Nothing really at the top. Now you get like a half body in a sort of scene. And then from this, I go on to doing my wind lights. So I currently have it to Zest, which I use majority of the time. As you can see, it's quite a bright wind light. So I go ahead and play with the effects, the fixed environments. Try and play with the shadows, where the shadows are. Obviously I don't want it too bright, and I don't want it too dark. Obviously you have a variety of different wind lights that you can use. I'm not really sure what sort of wind light to use on this scene because it's an advertisement, so I tend to use light ones. Doesn't always work out, but we can go through some of them. I have loads, as you can tell. Some with like different ambience. We'll see what this one looks like. Just love the effect that you get from the stained glass. Yeah, so sometimes you get the right look and sometimes you don't. So just keep on going ahead and play with your wind lights. And if you get like a really good one that works, this sort of works. You sort of get like a dark one. Let's see what this looks like. So what I tend to do is I tend to do a lot of my editing in Photoshop. So it's just about how much editing you want to put into it. I mean, you can just keep it as this, like with the shadows and things, quite natural. Sometimes it doesn't. That's quite nice. A 9 p.m. one. See what we can do with this. Sort of like a nighttime kind of wind light that creates sort of projections on the skin. And a luteal, also a good wind light to use, especially for things that are that you want light. But there you have it. That's how I do my scenes, and I just continue to play with my wind lights. Obviously, it's a lengthy process to see what looks right and what doesn't, but mainly use Control 0 or use your Alt W to zoom in, so you don't lose your crispiness of your face, or if you're doing like a half body shot, try and play with those controls as well as bringing yourself out the scene. It sometimes helps.